The rain hammered against the hospital windows that night, loud enough to drown out the beeping machines, but not loud enough to silence the desperate whisper that would change everything. Please, don't let him die. A tiny girl, no older than 7, clutched the hand of a pale, unconscious man lying in the ICU bed. Her eyes were swollen from crying, her voice trembling with fear. Nurses and doctors rushed around, but she stood frozen, staring at the only family she had left. And standing just outside the glass wall, watching this heartbreaking scene, was a young nurse named Aisha. She felt something twist painfully inside her chest. She had seen suffering before, she worked in the emergency ward after all, but this little girl's raw, helpless grief struck a chord deep within her. Maybe because she remembered being that girl once. Maybe because she knew exactly what it felt like to lose someone and have no power to stop it. Or maybe, fate was simply calling her. Viewers watching this moment, if they only knew what was coming, they wouldn't blink for a second. Because what happened next didn't just save a life, it changed 2 worlds forever. So stay with me to the end, because the twist will leave you breathless. The doctors spoke quietly. His kidney has completely failed. Without a transplant. The sentence hung unfinished, but the meaning was clear. The man, unknown to everyone there, was billionaire CEO Khalid Zaman, owner of one of the largest medical corporations in the country. Yet in this moment, his money, his power, his influence, none of it could save him. He had no family, no relatives who matched. His only hope was a donor. His little daughter, Hannah, sobbed harder. I don't want him to go like Mama. That broke Aisha. Her memories flooded back, the day she lost her own mother in a hospital corridor, watching helplessly as doctors shook their heads. She remembered wishing someone, anyone, would step forward and save her. She couldn't save her mother back then. But maybe, she could save someone now. Before she could overthink, before fear could stop her, she stepped toward the doctor. I'll get tested, she said. Everyone stared. You understand what you're offering? The surgeon asked. I do. Her voice trembled, but her eyes didn't. A few hours later, results came back. She's a perfect match. The hospital buzzed with shock. She wasn't family. She wasn't wealthy. She wasn't obligated. She was just willing. Aisha didn't know the unconscious man was a CEO. She didn't know the hospital wing he lay in existed because he funded it. She didn't know the expensive treatments keeping him alive came from his own philanthropy. All she knew was that a little girl needed her father. And that was enough. The surgery was scheduled immediately. The night before, Aisha sat alone in her small hostel room. Rainwater dripped from the ceiling into a bucket. Her single worn-out suitcase sat in the corner. She had no savings, no family to call. Her dream of becoming a doctor someday felt distant. She held a photo of her mother and whispered, I hope you'd be proud. Then she closed her eyes and accepted whatever tomorrow would bring. The surgery was long and risky, but successful. When Aisha woke, her body aching and weak, her first words were, Is he okay? The surgeon smiled. He's stable. You saved him. Tears slipped down her cheeks. But the man she saved still didn't know her name. Days passed. Aisha returned to work early, despite pain, refusing to take extended leave. She needed the income. She needed purpose. Meanwhile, the recovering CEO regained consciousness. He remembered nothing from the emergency, only waking to find his daughter sleeping beside him. Baba, she whispered when his eyes opened. He promised himself he would never leave her alone again. When told that a donor had saved his life, he demanded, Who was it? I want to thank them. Hospital policy protected anonymity, so no one revealed the name. But fate had other plans. One morning, while walking slowly with a cane, he passed a nurse struggling to lift supplies. He watched as others ignored her. Her face looked pale, exhausted. He stepped forward to help. As she lifted her head to thank him, he froze. Her wrist bore a fresh surgical scar, identical to his. His heart pounded. You, he whispered. She realized what he had seen, panic flashing across her face. Please, she said quickly, don't make this a big deal. I didn't do it for recognition. But he couldn't stay silent. You gave me a part of yourself, he said, voice breaking. And I don't even know your name. Aisha, she replied softly. In that moment, something shifted inside him. For years he had lived surrounded by wealth yet felt utterly alone. His wife had passed away, his family gone, his world reduced to business meetings and empty mansions. But this woman, a stranger, gave him life without expecting anything. Her kindness pierced the loneliness he didn't even admit to. He insisted on helping her, financially, medically, professionally, but she refused every offer. "My duty is to help people," she said, "not to gain from them." Her purity stunned him. Over the next weeks, they crossed paths often. He would visit patients, and she was always there, smiling, comforting, giving more than she had. One evening, he overheard nurses whispering, "She can't afford her tuition. She works double shifts. She sends money to orphans. She fainted yesterday but still came today." He felt anger rise, not at her, but at a world where someone so selfless struggled alone. That night, he anonymously paid off her hospital training fees and sent funds to upgrade her living conditions. She never knew it was him. Months passed. Their connection deepened, not romantically at first, but through shared humanity. He would sit in the cafeteria just to hear her talk about her dreams. "I want to open a free clinic one day," she said. "For people like my mother, who couldn't afford treatment." He listened with admiration. "You will," he said. "I believe it." But she smiled sadly. "Belief doesn't pay rent." Then came the turning point. One evening, while walking home, Aisha collapsed from exhaustion. She was rushed to the ER. When Khalid arrived and saw her unconscious, fear gripped him stronger than any business crisis ever had. He realized something terrifying. He couldn't imagine a world without her. When she woke, he was beside her, holding her hand, eyes red. "Why do you care so much?" she whispered. He took a shaky breath. "Because you gave me life," he said. "But more than that, you gave me something I've never had." "What?" "Hope." Silence filled the room. Slowly, his fingers tightened around hers. "Aisha, let me help you the way you helped me."